I just got back from the gym. Thankfully, the gym was still open today, even though it is Easter. And I have not eaten any lunch. So I'm making my smoothie. And I figured I would just make it with you guys here because why not? Why does the screen look kind of blurry? There. Doesn't look any better. Whatever. Moving along. Okay, this is my chocolate peanut butter smoothie I like to make. It is 1/4 cup rolled oats. I got this massive bag of oats at Sam's Club. Um, I used to eat oatmeal all the time, and then I was doing eggs for a long time, and now I kind of alternate. Actually, I make a different breakfast every day now. I used to eat the same crap every day, but we're switching up a little bit. But now we're having oats for lunch. Hello, sweet dream. I'm just making a smoothie before we get settled in here because I need something before I pass out. Oh yes, I have my protein powder. You guys are always nosy about what I'm using for makeup and eating and whatnot, so I'm just going to show you. This one is called Ghost and it's milk chocolate. It's okay. I have another chocolate one that I like a little bit better, but we got to use it up anyway. So we get a scoop. 4 a.m. You mean 4 p.m. Unless you are, I don't even know what time zone would be 4 a.m. if that's possible. I was actually early. I'll have you know. Ski mask. I was early. Okay, so put that in there. Now, cocoa powder. Oh, yes, it's over here. And I made some, this is going to sound weird, but it's actually quite good. Cottage cheese pancakes for breakfast. I know it sounds weird, but it's actually quite good. It's the second time I made it. I made a video about it for my fitness channel. I haven't edited it yet. 1 tablespoon. I think my tablespoon's dirty, so we're just going to use a regular spoon. And once I'm done with the smoothie, we will get down to business. Not that serious, but okay, there's my cocoa. What else? Oh, I've got people emailing me off YouTube left and right here today. Just a reminder, I'm not reading it unless you sent tribute. That's how it works, people. I got a few things to say about that. Oh yeah, says BA. Ski mask likes my back porch. Thank you. They call that a lanai here in Florida. Well, you live in Florida, don't you? You should know that. It's more enclosed than a porch necessarily. Actually, you could really even sleep in there. It's completely closed off, and I think there's an AC vent out there. But it is a really nice porch. Maybe I'll take you on a tour after. Oh yeah, you need peanut butter and almond milk. Let's get some peanut butter. I always have lots of peanut butter. Good morning, Yazin. It's afternoon for me. Freddie is in Ocala, Florida. Ocala, Florida, up in here. Up in here, up in here. Good song. I am on the east coast of Florida. So it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. I love spring. Okay, there's some, that's probably a lot more than a tablespoon. Oh well. Hello, Silly Dilly. That's a fun name. Still have peanut butter on my finger. And then we're gonna throw some ice cubes and almond milk. 1/2 cup of almond milk. We'll use the 4th cup. I was planning on getting this done before I live streamed, but I don't know if you know this about me, but I could spend probably 4 hours at the gym. I usually do 2 to 3 hours. I just get a little carried away. That's my problem. There's a lot of things I like to work on. So that's why I'm late. I think it's a good reason. Okay, there's the almond milk. And then we'll put a few ice cubes in there and give it a whirl, so to speak. Hello, Karen. Karan. Karen or Karan? PD is claiming that he is my toilet cleaner. I don't recall you ever cleaning my toilet with your $1.93 super chat. Cole says, do I know you from somewhere? Your dreams or your nightmare, depending on how it went. Okay, let's put some ice cubes in here. Ah, I always make a mess with the ice cubes. PD says he wishes he could clean my toilet. Well, I do keep my toilets pretty clean. I'm not gonna lie to you. I clean them pretty frequently. My first roommate in college, funny story, had no idea how to clean a toilet. I think that's very strange. Does anybody else in chat not know how to clean a toilet? I'm just curious. Is this something you learned before college years? I hope so. Mix up. Put a T in the chat if you know how to clean a toilet while the smoothie is mixing. It's an important life skill, This is very disappointing. Ski Mask claims that he knows how to clean a toilet. Cole says he has never cleaned a toilet. Elijah is on a cruise, his first day on a cruise, and he chose to join us. How lovely. Sweet Dreams knows how to clean a toilet. PD does know how to clean a toilet. And so does Ben. I think a lot of you are not answering. Elijah is claiming that Cole is a known troll in multiple streams. Well, um, as long as he's pleasant, he can stay. If he starts acting like a troll, then we'll treat him like a troll. Ski Mask says Clorox with Tilex. Sounds like a good combo. Sorry, one more mix with this with the somebody else mentioned that Cole is a known troll. He does he doesn't like that. He says it's rude. What's rude? Me making my smoothie or them calling you a troll? Um, because that's not the only person that said you're a troll. So maybe you need to change your troll behavior if that's how you're acting. Let's take a little sip. The author Stoic knows how to clean a toilet. Thank God. We're just gonna call you Cole the troll. Kind of has a ring to it, I'm not gonna look the sharp part. That wouldn't be very smart. I don't know. There, now you can really see my porch. You want a little tour of the porch? Let me clean my thing here. There. Oh, this is my sand dollar. It's almost a whole sand dollar that I found. Part of that. Little shells there. Okay, moving along. Let's go check out the porch and then we go to the office. It's a little messy. That's okay. See, this is um my furniture I have back here. And oh, you can't see it. There it is. And then I've got my little surf shack. It says wipes for your butt. I don't know why. And then cute little lamp over there. And this is my yard. I have a flamingo thing. In case you weren't aware, I do like flamingos. So here's my flamingo wind chime. And then there's my other flamingo. I need to clean that crap up. Anywho, here's my surfboard that hasn't been used for a while, and my kayak, which has been used. It does get used. And my plant, oops, I forgot I had a plant. Looks like it's dying. Not very good at keeping plants alive. Such is life. Okay, let me, even though I have dirt on my hand. Let me put a lid on my smoothie and we will commence. Oh, the rest of the stream. Very fresh. Stoic likes my porch. Thank you for that. It's a lanai, people. Where's my straw? I need the big thick one. That's what she said. So I can suck up the smoothie. Mmm. Mmm. Sweetheart, it's not time for you to eat yet. You don't eat for another hour. Somebody tell him. He's not going to listen to me. He thinks I'm lying. He thinks I'm trying to starve him. He doesn't look like he's starving. All right, and then let's get some water. Are you getting dizzy yet? Okay, water. And I do want this. And where's my other phone? There it is. Tuck it in the pit. And off we go. Should I move the wheel back in here? The wheel's in the hallway. Because I was filming a different type of video. Okay. Let me shrink you. Shrink you. And then put you in your spot. Put you in your place, as they say. Why are we talking about Hawaii? Cole says my room is organized but messy at the same time. Yeah, I have a tendency to kind of scatter stuff around and then like I'll do a deep clean. So I'm always organized. I do love organizing stuff because I'm weird like that. But I am a little sometimes I guess what you could say a little scatterbrained. So I kind of leave stuff laying around. But you know what? I live by myself, so I can do whatever I want. Yes, I can. I can do whatever I want. Why are we talking about Hawaii? Does somebody live in Hawaii? Cole says that's not a good habit. You got to keep yourself organized. I just said I am organized. I just sometimes leave things laying around. And if you're so concerned about it, why don't you come over and clean for me? Come be my maid if you're so worried about it. That's what I say to you. Cole the troll. Mm. Ski mask. He won. Oh, hey, to Florida. To, I don't know what your comment means. It's very confusing. SoCal says, I called the porch a lanai. That's what it's called in Florida. A porch is more like an outdoor area. Lanais are like enclosed. PD wishes he was my maid. Well, maybe one day he will be. Ski Mask just realized that his comment made absolutely no sense. And I'm getting harassed by the Chihuahua already. Great. Oh yeah. Let me put the wheel in here. You can watch while I do that. Let's get the wheel back in here. It's sitting in the hallway. Oh, I didn't realize I had a ball on this side. Let's put this number side on the wall. There we go. And of course, my famous wheel. There she is. Let's get a little this one here. And we'll get a little light action going. Okay. Got my balls. And there we go. Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna do walking today because I just actually I'm wondering if Constantine is in the chat because I have to tell you that I did my fit test on Friday and my triceps are sore, my pecs are sore, and my butt is very sore. The whole thing. I could hardly move, I could hardly bend over. And I don't know if anybody else is like this, but for me, when I do workouts, I can never tell at the time doing the workout if it's gonna hurt. It's always like a full 24 hours later, it hits me. And I do that Excuse me, I do that workout once a month, but maybe I pushed myself extra hard because sorry, I have hiccups. It was very painful. Still is. Happy Easter, Miss Maddie. Um, SoCal thought Lanaya was a Hawaii thing. Maybe so, but it is definitely a Florida thing. Schemax says he wishes he was that straw. Well, you're not. Scott says you look amazing. You're in top shape. Thank you for that. I wouldn't say. I think we're going a little crazy here with saying top shape, but I appreciate that. Thank you for that. Okay, so moving along, there's lots of comments I did not get to the other day. We're going to start with that. Ben says I dominated myself. Indeed, I did. You could definitely say that. I did inflict pain on myself. Cole says he's glad I didn't read it. What did I not read? What did I not see? What are you saying in the chat? Ew. I see your comment. Well, I got school, and I also, why would I clean your room? My dad's a banker at JP Morgan. Good for you. Who cares what your dad does? You sound like a spoiled little brat. Are you a spoiled little child? Is that what you are? And you would clean my room because I told you to do it. That's why. Now you are acting like a troll. You sound like a very entitled, spoiled person. I hope that's not the case, but if you are, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you. Hmm. No, I didn't. Okay, whatever. I don't know what you're talking about. Makes sense or don't make any comments. All right, let's move along. We are looking at some comments that I did not get to the other day because they were on my other phone. I transferred them to this phone. And now we're going to go over them as soon as I find where I put them. Here they are. Okay. Should we start with the oldest or the newest? We'll start with the newest, work our way back. How's that? Cole says, I'm a humble guy as he's bragging about his dad working at a bank. Okay. Whatever. Sounds real humble. Hello, Mo. Who could just came in. He goes down his ramp. What's up, puppy? You want to join us? Yeah, yeah. Come here, puppy. Oh, you're warm. You're warm from being out there. Did you get a little sun? You got a little sun out there, puppy? You gonna help read the comments? Your tongue is sticking out. I don't know if you knew that. It sure is. Yeah, we had a nice day yesterday. Yeah, you went for a bike ride in the basket, didn't you, huh? And we saw manatees. I don't know if you guys follow me on my other social media, but I posted to my stories the manatees that we saw. We saw a couple manatees and they were just floating around in the water having a great time. Loving life. It was adorable. And they were big. They were pretty big actually. There's another super chat from PD of another dollar something, which should be enough to get maybe a half a pack of gum if I'm lucky. Maybe. Maybe, I don't know, a third of a gallon of milk. Okay, so let's start at the bottom and work our way up. We have a lot to get to today. You guys are distracting me. Actually, he's distracting me with his fluffy tail. Here's the cutest fluffy tail. Look at that. Here's the cute fluffy tail, mama. Okay, anywho. All right, now you want to get down? Peace out. You're still not getting fed until 5. Don't even think about it. Where was the comments? Constantine likes my doggy ramp. Thank you. I concocted that. You know I'm handy and into building things like that. So there's a ramp on the outside too. Actually, maybe you want to see the whole device that I concocted here. So here's his ramp. And then he's got this little cat door, and there's a little porch. And sometimes he just likes to sit there and watch the creatures, and then there's a ramp on the other side. So that's how he goes outside. It works very well, actually. Okay, comments. I digress. Constantine, are you sore at all from the workout? I'm just curious because I was just mentioning that I am extremely sore. And I'm just going to throw my phone on the ground. Sorry about that. Okay. Comments. We're going to skip this one. So, first one is from someone named Fabio. And he left a comment on my recent hypnosis video. And he says, I see her and understand her. I like knowing my place, having direction, being needed. When I am useful, I feel calm, lucid, and aligned. I choose to be useful and to serve because it fulfills me. I obey my goddess and will obey forever. And I will serve my lady whenever she needs me, my goddess Fiore. And then I just left some emojis, as you know, I usually do. And he goes, am I a good boy? And I said, I haven't seen your tribute yet, so no. This person hasn't sent me tribute. Why would I call you a good boy? Like, you haven't done anything for me. You left some lovely flowery words. That doesn't get you much in my world. And he goes, so I said, I haven't seen your tribute yet. So then he leaves another comment. He says, Goddess Fiora made me see that it is good to listen to her orders and look into her eyes, blah, 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 blah. This is my tribute to my queen. So I think he misunderstood the assignment. And I said, I meant my initial tribute, which is $50. So I think he misunderstood the assignment. What's a tribute? In financial domination, an initial tribute is the amount that you send to initiate a conversation with a financial dominatrix. So if you're someone who's interested in serving me, my initial tribute is $50, and I require that for any direct communication. Pretty much any financial dominatrix is going to have an initial tribute. You can find it on their social media, and you have to pay that before you speak to them. That's an initial tribute. Reese, we can see what your name is in your username. You don't need to tell us your name. So Fabio misunderstood the assignment. So I hope he figures it out. Next, I'm deleting comments as we go, so I don't read them twice because you know sometimes I accidentally do that. Okay, the next one I'm not going to read is kind of a long comment from Tom. And he says, thank you. This is to an old girly man made video, if you will. And he says, thank you, Goddess Fiore, for making the instructions crystal clear. My girly man brain is easily distracted, especially while cleaning your delicates. I am so scared about having you inspect my blah, 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 blah. He gets a little graphic here. And then he's asking for instruction and control. And I replied to him and I said, weird. I don't recall you sending me a tribute to serve me, to even be in a position to ask questions. Do better. So just a reminder, you know, this is an example of someone who is trying to essentially get free interaction. And I'm not stupid. Like, I know what you're doing. And it's not only disrespectful, but it's annoying. And I'm just going to respond to you to send tribute. Obviously, you know, I always say when we're chatting in the live streams here, that's one thing. You know, you guys are more than welcome to ask questions and interact. That's kind of the point of the live stream. But I'm talking to people who try to reach out to me directly or leave comments to try to get me to engage with them like this. That's when it pisses me off. It doesn't piss me off. It makes you look bad. Um, so, oh, this is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorite comments from Jofo is the name. This was on my video where I talked about the $2,700 dollar drain that I did a few weeks ago. And Jofo says, I want to be a stinky homeless bum living in a cardboard box behind the dumpster under a bridge, all because you take everything. His words, not mine. Anyhow, I thought that was extremely entertaining. That's what you call a financial ruin fantasy, if you didn't know. We don't know if he's serious or not. He could be serious, to be honest. Um, yes, Constantine liked that one. And then we have, and this comment wasn't actually even posted to the channel. Just a reminder, if you weren't aware of this, that sometimes if you leave rude comments, I'm not even doing anything with them. YouTube filters out a lot of comments, especially if they're rude. Pardon me. And so YouTube had filtered out this comment, but part of it still popped through on my end. And this is from Paul, who says, financial domination is thievery, no question about it. Which is a really strange thing to say because how would I possibly be able to rob somebody's bank account online? Um, I just, it's very confusing to me because considering that men are voluntarily sending me money of their own accord and they are big boys, adult ass men who can make decisions for themselves. How is that thievery? If someone voluntarily is handing me money, that's not stealing. That's not stealing money from someone. Findom is a consensual dynamic. It doesn't make sense to people. But when I see comments like this, it tells me one, you don't understand what the kink is at all. Or two, maybe you're jealous that some people make a living off this and receive as much money as we do. And maybe you just have to work hard. I don't know. Just a thought. Mm-hmm. Just a reminder in the chat, don't tell me what to do because I won't do it. And number two, if you would like your comment to get priority, I have an oat on my tongue. There. You can always send a $5 super chat if you are so desperate for my attention. If not, I will see your comment if I see it. If not, then you will sit there quietly and shut up. Hello, Reese. Happy Easter to you. He calls me Goddess Flower. Good question. Man Math, Man Matt, whatever. He says, shut up. Stop it. It's not time yet. Pardon me. He says, would you let that happen? Let someone really ruin his life? And the answer is no. So, I am probably one of the more ethical findoms out there, which is so fun when people say stuff like financial donation is thievery to me because I do operate within as ethical bounds as I possibly can. I always ask people what their limitations are, and especially when I've had very young subs approach me, like early 20s, uh, I have actually told them not to send me money or to set a budget so that they don't go overboard. Um, because it really doesn't make any sense to try to get someone bankrupt or in a lot of debt because they're not going to be able to serve you anymore. So I would rather improve someone's life, encourage them to work harder to make more money to serve me if they want to. Everything in findom should be consensual. And I like to emphasize that. But then also, you have to keep in mind when you see stuff, when you see posts and stuff like that, that financial ruin is a fantasy. So sometimes when you hear DOMs talk about ruining subs, making them go homeless, a lot of the stuff like it's not real. It's a fantasy for some people, so they're trying to appeal to that fantasy. But a lot of subs don't really have a good line between fantasy and reality. So I always try to do what I think is best. And if I even think somebody's going to ruin themselves, like really, then I won't engage with that person or I'll set a limit or, do whatever I have to do. But financial ruin is definitely a fantasy that some people have. And so I would have no problem saying stuff like this, um, you know, telling someone like you're going to give me every last dollar in your bank account or something after we've had a conversation and I know what they can afford and that type of thing, then we can kind of engage in that fantasy. But in reality, no. But there are a lot of doms who brag about ruining subs, and so I don't know if they're actually doing that or not. It's hard to say. Cole says, if early 20s are young, what am I then? Because I'm 18. You're a freaking baby. That's what you are. You're a little baby. Reese is telling us that he has a boot and shoe fetish. Okay, I'm not sure what that has to do with the conversation, but sure. Hello, Fab. Happy Easter to you. Hello to Matthew. Let's move along. All right, so that was Mr. Paul's rude and inappropriate comment, and we'll delete it now. And then we have, I think I read that one already. We'll skip it. Oh, this one. I can't remember if I read this one or not, so we're gonna read it again. This is from Tommy, and he says, I was with a lass years ago, so I don't know if maybe you're in Ireland or something like that. Lass. Years ago, who wanted me to be her slave, but I bottled it. Wish I could turn the clock back. So I guess he had come across a dominant woman in real life and wanted to make her submissive, and he got scared and ran off like a little cockroach. So, and now he regrets it. I could see how it'd be a little scary at first, but grow some balls is what I would say to you. Otherwise, you miss out on opportunities, which it sounds like he did. Next. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Hello, Ray from West Virginia. Man says, thank you for explaining. I'm new to findom. I don't know if I really would send, but it's very interesting. Well, up to you. No pressure. And you know what? I'm glad you said that because I also wanted to bring this point up today is that I have a lot of people who reach out to me or will serve me very briefly. And I sense that they like want me to pursue them. And that's just not how I work. I feel like a lot of submissives especially expect a dominant person to kind of like pursue them. And that's not how I work because this is a consensual dynamic and money is involved. If you want to serve me, you have to make the first move. You have to reach out to me with tribute and tell me that you want to serve. I am never going to chase somebody down to try to serve me because in my opinion it needs to be consensual. I need to know that you are willing and making the effort to make that happen. PD sends I don't even know how much that is in US dollars, but it's probably like $3 or $4 super chat. And he says, I do want to suffer for you, goddess. I have $4 to $5 left with me now. I will skip breakfast tomorrow, goddess. I will think it as I'm fasting for you. I don't know what you want me to say. You've sent a total of $8 so far. That might buy me a gallon of milk and not even a loaf of bread. So you're saying that you're suffering by sending me $8, then I'm sorry for you, and I think that you should probably make more money, is what I would say to you. If $8 is breaking the bank for you, then you have a problem. Hello, Terry from Florida. Wait, are you saying you're from Florida or I'm from Florida? Because I'm from Florida too. in between is amused by the conversation or something. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. US loves the honesty. AQ says, I have a question, lady. Why don't you just ask your question? Just a reminder, keep your comments respectful, or I'm just going to put you in a timeout or remove you from the channel from speaking entirely because I don't like it. Where was I? Yeah, so I was talking about Kevin just sent a $19.99 super chat and says, I'll buy you 2 gallons of milk. Thank you for that. I now have enough for 2 gallons of milk and a loaf of bread. Or maybe like 2 Easter bunnies and some peeps. I love peeps. Put a P in the chat if you like peeps. I need to know. And if you do like peeps, you can also tell me which shape you like. Do you like the bunny? Or maybe the chick? Put a P in the chat if you like the P. P, not T. P for peep. Cole says, damn, he lost his life savings paying you this final penny left in the bank. He's broke. I know, it's very sad. Very sad. $8 broke him. He's completely broke. Poor guy. Oh, Scott likes peeps. And so does Pedro. But you didn't tell me what shape. What animal do you like? What color? Pink, yellow, blue. Turn your mouth blue. Benjamin just sent me a $100 emoji, not a super chat. Don't get too excited. Ah, Fernando. Hi, how are you? I'm from Daytona Beach. Lovely. I'm from South Florida, not too far from you. Reese is from Scotland, England. And Alex likes the orange and white peeps. I think that's what you're talking about. Scott goes for the yellow peeps. Dwayne is complaining that my straws are upside down. I'm totally aware of this, and this is how I like to put my straws in. I'd like to have them upside down. I don't know why. I don't like feeling like they're confined in the container, I guess. I like to be able to take the straw out if I want. Constantine does not eat sugar, but he likes the custom of people eating peeps. Yes. Okay. Just a reminder to keep your comments respectful, or you will be put in timeout. I removed the message. Oops. I don't think I meant to remove that message. Oh, I didn't mean to remove that one. Oops. Can I whatever, I didn't mean to do that. Kitty, I don't appreciate you coming in my chat and telling me where to live stream and where not to live stream. If that works for you, then why don't you go do that? And also, if there's so many better platforms, then why don't you go on there and why are you in my live stream would be my question to you. Scott says he's going to see Breaking Benjamin. Okay, what was I going to say? I was talking about, oh yes, how subs need to take initiative to serve me. Because like I said, I'm not going to chase anybody down. If you want to serve me, you can. You're welcome to. But I feel like a lot of times subs act like they expect me to chase them down. And I'm just letting you know that I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. That's not how I operate. What was I going to say? Like, for example, I have one sub. You've heard me talk about him before. Well, I have several subs named David, but the one recently named David, who has sent me, he's keeping track. I'm not, because he sends to me on several platforms, so it's kind of hard to keep track with. It's hard to keep track of what he's sending, but I think he sent a total of something like, I think it's like $700 or $800 now since January. And he keeps saying that he's going to serve me. He's waiting for some kind of medical procedure. He's waiting to get his taxes done. Then he's waiting for this. And he's totally welcome to send to me, to just send. I do have people who just send to me and don't expect any interaction. And they just like serving, they like having purpose, and that's fine. And that's fine if he wants to do that. But it is a little frustrating to me when somebody says that they are going to serve in the future tense, because if you're going to serve, then why are you telling me that? Like, just wait until you're ready and then serve. I talk about that all the time. It's um, very annoying to do. So you don't have to tell me that you're thinking about serving. Just do it or don't do it. I don't care. Either way is fine. Like I said, I'm never pressuring anybody to serve me. You have to make that decision on your own. I'm not going to chase you down. I'm not going to chase you down. It does have to be a voluntary decision, and so that I know that you're consenting to participating. But if you are reaching out to me directly, you should always be sending tribute. That is what I wanted to say. Hello, Timmy. Let's move along. Oh, yes. I have a funny comment for you. So this is on one of my Lady Boss, actually the very first Lady Boss video I posted. What am I serving? Pancakes? No. Domination. That's what I'm serving. Domination. Oh my God, you guys are so funny. We have a lot of people randomly coming in here that have no idea what's going on. I'm a financial dominatrix. I'm talking about submissive men who wish to serve me. That's what I'm referring to. If you're not a submissive man who wants to serve me, then don't worry about it. You can just hang out and be entertained or not. Whatever. Let's move along. Okay, so this was a comment, like I said, on my very first Lady Boss video. This is what Utkarsh, UTK. That's what we're gonna call him, UTK. And he says, I've been laid off 3 times in my career, and I can tell you this video is a gem. So the video was about me demeaning someone, acting pretending to be like somebody's boss and demeaning them and possibly firing them. So he felt that it really hit home for him. So I'm glad to hear that. I found that very entertaining. Thank you for that. Coming from a pro, he's a pro at getting fired, so he knows what he's talking about, you know? Okay, this is funny. He may think it's funny, but I think it's funny. Isaiah says this is very strange. People are strange, says 88 Fingers. Indeed, they are. And if you are not interested in watching strange, then this may not be the chat for you. I don't know. If you like weird, then you can stay. Happy Easter, Duck's wife. Thank you. Okay, this is from somebody named Jake on one of my adult platforms. And he says, wait, I think there was one before this. Did I save the other one? No. He sent me a weird message before this, and I don't think I responded. So then he's like responding to some of my automatic messages that I send on there. And he goes, "Hello, Goddess Fiore. It's interesting how different DOMs operate. You are very strict early on, as is a New Zealand-based lady. I'm sure this works well for you both and some subs. For me, I get seduced slowly and gradually. Big starts scare me off. I'm a slow and gradually entranced sort of sub. Anyway, I adore you, obviously. XX." And while it is a nice message, at the same time, it's kind of, how do I say this nicely? Um, I feel like a lot of subs only see things from their perspective. And I say subs in quotes here because I talk about frequently how true submissive men, in my opinion, are actually interested in making a dominant woman's life better and improving her life. Um, if you're only interested in your own needs and wants, I don't really consider you a true submissive. That's not submissive behavior, in my opinion. You are, in that case, a man who has a kink, a submissive kink. Okay, there's a difference. So you might have a kink for giantess or feet or humiliation, but just because you have a kink for something does not make you a submissive. Because if you can only see your own wants and needs, then you're really not my kind of sub. So the fact that, and when he says that I'm very strict early on, I think he had messaged me earlier and I told him, that I require tribute if he wants to speak with me. And I think he means maybe that is being strict, that I adhere to my own uh, boundaries and limits, I guess, if that means I'm strict to you. Maybe he's used to dealing with DOMs who let him get away with a lot of free interaction, is what I'm guessing. And that is certainly not my style, obviously. He says, I'm sure this works well for you both and some subs. Um, yeah, it works great actually, because it weeds out people, no offense, like you, who are cheap and think that the world should revolve around them. And again, I know that he was being respectful and he's just not really like able to see things out of his own, you know, field of vision, I guess. But I did not like this comment. Big starts scare him off. And I guess by big start, he means sending my initial tribute of $50. I don't really think that's a big start. And if you think that's big, if that's breaking the bank, like for PD here, who $8 has now made him broke, apparently, then I don't know what to tell you. Then financial domination is probably not for you because it is luxury kink. And, if 10 or $20 is a lot of money to you, then it's probably not something that you should be getting into. That's just my opinion. Oscar, if I had $1 for every moron that comes in my chat telling me to get a real job, if you had taken 2 seconds to watch any of my other videos, you would know that I do have a real job and a career for 20 years. So shut the fuck up. Thank you. Okay. Now, that was Jake. So Jake will probably never be my submissive with an attitude like that. Because the other thing is that you should keep in mind if you are trying to serve a financial dominatrix, and again, if you're not interested in this, then you can just listen and it doesn't apply to you. It doesn't have to apply to you. This is for people who are interested in serving, who are financial submissives. The thing is, especially when you are interacting with a new dominatrix, somebody who's new to you, you should be trying to make a good impression. If you want to have a dynamic with the person, if you really are into them as much as you say you are. But when you do stuff like that, it makes you look really bad. Yes. This is not a religious channel, so either leave your religious crap off my channel. Maybe you can go join a live stream from a church or something, but I am a Christian. I love Jesus, but this is not the time or place. So if you're putting your crap like that in the chat right now, you're going to be put in a timeout. If you want to talk about Jesus and praise Jesus today, then by all means, go join a church live stream. Please and thank you. Dylan says YouTube isn't a real job. What did I just say? I've had a professional career for 20 years. So stop. You guys are total morons if you're saying that because you haven't done any research. Imagine just going around accusing people of not being educated or not having a job just because you see them live somewhere. What a stupid thing to say. Grow up. Okay, let's move along. Yes, I read you my homeless person in a cardboard box. That's still probably my favorite comment right now. That was a really good one. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Okay, this is a good one. This one I've been meaning to read for a while. This is from Death Adder with a creepy clown picture on your profile. It's very creepy. I'm not scared of clowns, but I know a lot of people are, and I would say that's a creepy clown. And he says, you sound like a very sweet and genuine woman looking out for such persons. I really wouldn't guess you are a dom or findom. So I can see how you would think that, because yes, I am a very empathetic person. And I know, sometimes here on the live stream, I do get a little, okay, if you're mentioning Jesus, you're about to be banned. I'm just letting you know. You can say Happy Easter. We are not here to talk about Jesus today. While I'm a Christian, it's just not the purpose of this channel. Maybe you should go on a church live stream. Just saying. Okay, so while I have my moments of being very opinionated and somewhat, I don't know if aggressive is the right word. You know what I'm saying. Um, I am a very empathetic person, a very caring person. And as I mentioned, I would never actually financially ruin my submissives. I do really care about people. And I do feel like submissives tend to seek out the meanest, most evil dominatrixes that they can find because that's kind of what a lot of people like and are seeking out. Um, from what I've heard from a lot of doms that are more experienced, is that um, let me just ban this person really quick for saying rude shit. Um, contrary to popular belief, a lot of female dominatrixes are actually um, very empathetic and compassionate. So, that's something to think about. A lot of times what you're seeing being posted on social media and other platforms is, designed to feed into various fantasies, and it may not necessarily reflect the true personality of that person, if that makes sense. So, I know Ben has had experience with DOMs in real life. Anybody else in the chat have an opinion on what I just said? If you've had any kind of, maybe not even just like one session with a Dom, but if you've had any kind of like ongoing dynamic with a Dom, did you find that they were actually empathetic and caring, contrary to what people think? Or what do you think? Let me know in the chat if you have something to add to that. Mackie says yes. I don't know if he's referring to what I was just talking about or not. Okay. Oh, we have another good comment too. Oh, Makia says, I only play with empathetic ones, but I'm a woman, so men might be different. Interesting. So are you a submissive female then? Are you saying that you only interact with empathetic doms? And do you serve men or women? Just out of curiosity. Hello, Javier and Larry. Welcome. Hello, Morris. Good to see you. Happy Easter, deuces. And Grayman. Oh, we got a lot of people coming in here, huh? Did anybody hear what I just said? Do you have an opinion on what my thoughts on that? Just curious. Cole, you can call me goddess. Mark, happy Easter to you as well. I hope you are having a lovely and joyful day. Say it again. Okay. Grayman just arrived. Welcome. What was that? Yesterday? Whatever. My comment was that if you have had any kind of ongoing dynamic with a dominatrix in the past, either online or in person, do you find that even when somebody kind of comes off as being mean or evil that they are actually quite empathetic when you're serving them? That's my question. Ah, thank you, Constantine. Good comment. He says, I'm familiar with that community in Germany and London, and the best ones are always empathetic and caring about their submissives. The rookies and the fake ones don't care. That's my observation. Yes. And, we all know I'm very open to telling you guys that I am still relatively new to this. I've only been doing it for a little over a year, but that is what I've heard as well. And that makes sense to me. Mo. Whatever. Ski mask. I don't know what you're asking. I have a feeling I know what you're asking, and it better be not be what I'm thinking. King says it probably varies depending on the individual, but you're not really speaking from personal experience. I'm more looking for somebody who actually has experience to make that opinion. Mark, I'm not really sure what your comment means, but okay. Makia says, I fell into listening to every Dom person. I'm not sure what that means, but the ones I stayed with long term have empathy and truly dominate my weakness in a caring way. Well said. Scott says, I'm 10 times better looking than your ex wife. Okay. Need a back scratcher. Oh, that feels so good. I'm just reading the chat real quick. Ski mask is going to go hide the Easter eggs. Okay. Are you hiding them and then finding them yourself? Because that's weird. I actually, so one thing I would like to get better at is planning for holidays. Holidays sneak up on me and I totally forget it's a holiday. I would have liked to have some bunny ears or wear like a cute little Easter outfit for you guys, but instead all I had was to make an AI picture of myself with bunny ears. So, one of these days I'm going to be better about. I do have a Cinco de Mayo hat. I don't know where it is, but I don't have anything for Easter. Oh, there's my other spray bottle. Grayman says he doesn't celebrate holidays. Is that part of your religion or you just choose not to? Because that's kind of not fun. All right, let's move along. So this is from, actually, I think Scott, you might be in the chat here. I saw one or two Scotts. I don't know if this is the Scott that's in the chat, but he says, I need to be locked. All I think about is you. So he says that, but I don't think he's actually served me yet. So again, people talking and actions speak louder than words. That's all I gotta say. Um, Makaya says she puts reminders a month, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and a week before every holiday. While maybe that's what I need to start doing. Maybe that's what I need to start doing. Okay, this was also made me laugh. This comment. So this was on the video of me in the red dress dancing, and EJH says, which establishment are you at? Which I probably would have got insulted by that many years ago when I was just a pole dancer and hadn't worked in clubs. But since I have worked in clubs, I don't necessarily get insulted by that. Hold on. Yeah. Are you gonna stay up here this time or what? Are you just gonna harass? So and I haven't worked at clubs in at least 2 years, just so you know. But he said, which establishment are you at? And I responded to him and I said, your mom's house. And he goes, are the tips good there? And I said, why don't you ask her? Thought that was really funny. Anywho, moving along. And then we have another Scott. This Scott has 2 T's. The last one had 1 T. And this is on the rules and hierarchy video. And he says, kneeling at your feet, goddess Fiore, all caps. I am a scattered beta male who desperately needs structure and discipline from a strong, dominant, superior woman. I kneel. And my response to him was clearly. And I said, message me with tribute if you would actually like to serve and be useful. But, you know, so many people just like to hear themselves talk. That's what's exciting for them. And I find it incredibly annoying. Just all talk. So then Matthew says he likes little dogs that where their tongue hangs out. So his tongue hangs out because he has no bottom teeth. Actually, he has no front teeth at all, the top and the bottom. So that's why, and he has a very long tongue. His tongue is so long. He has a very long tongue, and so that's why it sticks out. You gonna show them? You show them your tongue? It's not sticking out right now. I'm gonna show them. He was very cuddly this morning. We had some really good cuddles, didn't we, huh? You're so snuggly in the morning, but you're so vicious at night. You get very vicious and you try to bite me. You have sundowners, little doggy dementia, maybe. Not really sure. Yes. He is. There it is. There's the tongue. There it is. He's just sticking out. It just sticks out there like that, doesn't it, little doggy? You're funny looking, Momo. You're funny. All right, moving along. And then this, in case you weren't aware, I do have one video editing sub right now. Somebody said in my live stream, I think the other day, that they were interested in video editing too. And I'll take 2 people. I can use the more the better. But my current video editing, oh, there goes this pod on my shirt. Getting fresh, Momo. This is from the current video editing sub who he's kind of pervy, if you want to know the truth. He's a little pervy. And we were talking about, this is before I made the age verification video. It's one of the reasons I made that video. And we were talking about people being underage, doing financial domination, either as a submissive or as a dom. And he says, I'm concerned about it on both sides. The amount of girls that are in this space because they've seen an episode of Euphoria, which I don't know what that is, or watched a TikTok, makes me very concerned for them, both their safety as well as the emotional and psychological toll of dealing with trolls and people who have bad intentions. I would also add people that have extreme fetishes, like I mentioned in the age verification video. There's lots of people who are into some pretty freaky shit. No judgment, but it's, if you're not used to, you know, being in the adult industry, it can be a little traumatizing, I think. And he said, I'm concerned the psychological toll dealing with trolls and people with bad intentions can have on their minds that are still developing. For the younger guys who find an unethical dom who doesn't care about destroying them, that can lead to very devastating consequences that at best cause very complicated conversations and at worst can put them in a deep depression. So something to think about. And that's out of the norm for him because usually he's being very pervy with me. And if you watch this, you will know that that's the truth. You will not deny that. There's an oat sticking out there. Okay, I think that's all I have. Yeah, I got all the comments down. So, Cole, I have no idea what your comment means. It doesn't make any sense. Makaya, I have no idea what either of those shows are that you mentioned. There's a bug floating around here. Come here, you jerk. Try that again. See what happens. I don't know where my fly swatter is, so this works. He's hanging around here somewhere. Maybe I should put the fan on. They'll wait. Another one. Am I on anything other than this? Yes, I'm on several platforms. All my links are in my bio. That's all I can say. What's in my smoothie? I made it at the beginning of the stream. It is chocolate protein, oats, peanut butter, cocoa. What else? I think that's it. Ice. Oh, high school drugs and drama and parties. Oh, that doesn't sound like my thing, honestly. That's probably why I haven't seen it. King says he's interested in having some sessions with me. You can, I talk about all this time. If you want to do a session or serve me, all my links are in my bio. You can contact me on any of my platforms with tribute. I do not respond if you don't include my initial tribute of $50. And you have to give me a screenshot because I can't tell you the number of people who try to say they paid tribute and they have not, and they're totally lying. Like I'm a retard and I'm not going to figure it out. Ski Mask is trying to tell me to turn on the fan. Normally, I'm not ever going to do what you say, but I am going to do it just because there is a bug floating around and it's driving me kind of nuts, and I think it'll help with the bug. Fan. We'll see how fast it's going. I did a butt workout today. There he is. Do you see it? It's like floating around my head. It's driving me nuts. Anyways, we'll see if the fan helps. King says, first time here, I'm definitely going to check it out. No problem. But yeah, that is, I think, one of the most annoying things when people say that they sent tribute and they didn't. Like, that is really despicable behavior. Truly. Cole says the bug is a simp too. I guess so, but I wish he wasn't. I'd like to kill him. That's what I want to do. I know a lot of people, don't like killing bugs, but it's Florida. There's so many of them. They're going to die. Actually, I don't know if anybody saw my my story from yesterday. He might actually see this live stream, but I think he was in a live stream the other day and he had sent $100 super chat right towards the end. Might have been the last stream, I don't remember. And he what was I gonna say? He messaged me and he was requesting the full version of a video that I have here on YouTube. So I have I think they're pretty weird, but I know some people really like them and that's why I post them. They're very easy for me to make, but my foot videos, I just made 2 yesterday, so all you foot fiends are going to be very pleased about that. I even made a boot one, which I know some of you like boots. So you're going to be excited about that. If it's not your thing, you watch it, it's very weird, for sure. I'm not going to deny that. But there's one where I'm wearing my rose gold 8-inch heels, and in the middle of filming the video, a spider was on the floor. And so I took the opportunity to squish the spider in the video, but I couldn't post it on YouTube because they don't allow that. So I had it edited out and he wanted the full version. So he sent me a message and he asked me how much it would be. And I told him $50. Feather. And he goes, how about 100? And I said, no, how about 150? So I guess that's, you know, sometimes how negotiation goes in financial domination. Usually somebody be trying to negotiate down, but he was negotiating up. So I went with it. And so he ended up paying $150 to see me squish a spider. That's how that went. Reese, why do you talk about yourself in the third person? That's weird. You can just say I. That's like a lot of work to type out your own name. Cole, that is not an insult. She's saying jinx because you probably said the same thing at the same time. Do you not know what jinx means? Is that what happened, Micaiah? Did you guys say the same thing at the same time? And Cole, are you like trying to tattletale on her right now? Are you being a little tattletale? You're not giving me a very good impression of you. You told me your dad works at JP Morgan Chase. Like I'm supposed to be impressed by that. I don't give a crap what your dad does. Um, and you've also never cleaned a toilet. So I'm thinking that one, you need to be taught a thing or two, and two, that you're an entitled little brat. Can you confirm or deny? Hello, Zokig from Croatia. Welcome. What's Croatia like? I feel like it'd be a nice place to visit. I don't know much about it. But Micaiah confirmed that they did indeed say the same thing at the same time, and that's why she said jinx. But he took it as an insult and tried to tell on her like a little kid. You are showing your age, my friend. King Crab says fiestas. What does that have to do with anything? Reese wants to know what kind of bug is it? The one that's floating around right now or the spider? I think you're talking about the one right now. I think it's probably like a fruit fly. I'm just making sure it's not in my smoothie because I have the smoothie in here. I don't think it's in there. It's very tasty though, I can tell you that. Constantine wouldn't eat it because it has sugar in it. I love sugar. Mm. Zokig confirms that Croatia is lovely and I'm always welcome. Well, thank you for that. Maybe I'll go sometime. I want to go to Greece first. Delicious. Cole says, my mom, I'm going to say my mommy, never lets me clean the toilet because we got a maid for it. Your mom babies you. If you ever live with a woman, I suggest you learn how to do a few chores around the house. So, I'm just saying that maybe you should take the opportunity to be somebody's sissy maid at some point so you can learn how to clean. Because no woman wants to live with a guy who doesn't know how to do shit like that. So, sounds like you need to learn some life skills, some instrumental daily activities of daily living is what they're called. Can I help you? Can you help me, please? Ski mask, are you trying to tell me that you also don't know how to clean a toilet or do useful things around the house? How do you ever expect to find a woman? Something to think about. Your mom is doing you a disservice by not teaching you these things. IMO. Cole doesn't even know how to cook or clean dishes. My friend, I would not go around bragging that you have a maid and don't know how to house clean. It's not a good look. Micaiah also agrees that that's embarrassing. So you thought it was a flex to say you have a maid and that your dad works at JP Morgan Chase, and now you're learning that that is actually embarrassing and that maybe you shouldn't mention that next time. Let me see my peep shorts. What? What does that mean? Are you asking to see my shorts? Do I have a boyfriend? No. What would a boyfriend bring in my life? Tell me that. Because from what I've seen, not much. Look, Colt can't even clean a toilet. What do I need that in my life for? mean, most men aren't even good in bed. You know what I'm saying? So if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. I think there's a bug on the wall. I don't think that was bug. I was hoping. I think it went away. Or maybe it's in my drink and I drank it. I don't know. Anything could happen. Happy Easter, Gary. Didn't you already say hello or was that a different Gary? William says, clean my house. Are you offering to clean my house? Or you're telling me to clean my house? Does it look dirty? It's not. I do clean my house. Reese thinks he's going to get a punishment for free. He is sorely mistaken. Okay, so today is Easter. And while, maybe you went to church, maybe you didn't, either way is fine, in my opinion. And obviously, this is not a religious channel. We're not talking about Jesus here today, but this is the day that Jesus rose from the dead, if you believe in that. Oh, shoot, where's my thing I wanted? Oh, I think it's in here. But either way, spring is a time of renewal, new life, transitioning, evolving. Something I think a lot of you could learn, obviously, need to learn. Cole is a Jew and does not believe in Jesus. That's okay. I'm accepting of all religions. I say, whatever floats your boat, whatever brings you peace and joy is good for you. But I am also very into respecting other people's beliefs and limitations in the sense that you see how annoyed I get with people that come in my chat telling me Jesus loves me or some crap like that, because why would you say that? I know that Jesus loves me. I don't need you to tell me that if I do believe in Jesus, which I do. But you're going around telling people that because it's almost like a condescending way of telling people, like, you're not saved. I need to save you. You need help. Um and that shit gets really annoying. I am a strong proponent of not pushing your beliefs on other people. Oh, Constantine says his Savannah cat is obsessive about killing bugs and eating them. Well, I guess he's getting a lot of protein. And that's kind of helpful for you. You don't have to worry about killing the bugs. Hmm. Cole says simps lie a lot. And you must be, I don't know if you're doing voice to text, but you said a lot. ALLAT, which is very incorrect. And you're right. Submissives do lie a lot. I'm well aware of this. Ski Mask says, I hope you enjoy is annoying. I don't know what you mean. Aw. Makaya, lovely. She says, hey, don't forget to double tap the screen and give Goddess a like if you haven't saved up enough to tribute. William says, I'm a very smart woman. Thank you for that. But yeah, I just have a problem with people who go around trying to push their religion and their beliefs on other people when they don't even know what the person's beliefs are. I just think it's very disrespectful, and you know, I have a problem with people to think that they're always right about everything. And I've had a lot of experiences in my life, negative experiences with people who claim to be Christian, honestly. So a lot of it comes from that. Some of you may know that I was raised in a very traditional Catholic church, and our church masses were always in Latin. So I actually used to know a lot of Latin. Um, but people come in here acting like I don't know anything about the Bible or Christianity when I probably know more than they do, honestly. And I just have a problem with people that think they can go around and pushing their beliefs on other people. I actually I don't know if you could say dated, if you could even say I hung out with this one guy in college who claimed to be a Christian, and I was actually very into him. I wanted to date him, but he made it very clear that I was not good enough to date him because I was not Christian enough. And he kept saying that I needed to accept Jesus and be saved. And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, I've accepted Jesus since I was like, I don't know, born. And I've been a Catholic my whole life. Like, what are you even talking about? And we never went all the way, shall I say. I don't know if I can say certain words on here, but you get the idea. We messed around a little bit. Like I said, that didn't happen, but he thought that even just messing around a little bit was wrong. And I asked him, well, why are you doing something if you think it's wrong? Like, why would you do it if you think it's wrong? And do you want to know what he said to me? He said, because I know God will forgive me. And I find that this is the attitude that a lot of Christians have that I have a major problem with. They think that they can do whatever the hell they want, lie, cheat, steal, whatever. And they do it knowing that it's wrong because they feel like Jesus will forgive them, which makes it even worse that you're doing that. Like, it's one thing to not believe in God and you're doing stuff like that, but like when you believe in God and you know that you shouldn't be doing things and you're doing them because you claim Jesus will forgive you, that's worse and more pathetic. Ski mask. Spin the friggin' wheel. I didn't see your $5 super chat come through. So, anyways, King says, why do females ask if you consider yourself to be dominant or submissive? It's best to just find out, right? It takes the fun out of it if you know in advance. I mean, I don't think I've ever asked that of somebody that I'm dating. Are you talking about people that you're dating that are asking this? That's kind of weird. Ski Mask says, I'll show you a super chat. Okay. Hi, Elder. Welcome. Hmm. But anyways, um, did anybody do anything exciting for Easter today? Tell me that in the chat. What am I doing? I'm just hanging out. I'm just hanging out, chatting. I had a whole plan of what we were going to chat about today, but I got distracted. So, such is life. Ski Mask watched a hockey game. That sounds boring. Ski Mask claims that he's burying his eggs again. I think you're full of it. I would actually like to have photo proof that you're doing this because I think you're lying. Oh. Makia says she made deviled eggs for the family and they were the best she's ever made. Congratulations. Sounds delicious. Rocky says, my goodness, you are gorgeous. Thank you for that. Ski Mask denies that he's lying and says, no, I am not lying. William says, this is most of all the human race. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Explain yourself. Hello, Wahab. Long time no see. Welcome. Scott says, I find it interesting that some would come to a Dominatrix chat and want to talk about religion. Well, I think they see us as needing it the most, you know, because I guess they just automatically assume that because you do domination, you're evil. Whereas I would say someone who's a hypocrite and does things that they know are wrong because they claim Jesus will forgive them is more evil. But that's just my opinion. To each his own. Oh, Cole says, I don't celebrate Easter because it's fake, but it's Sunday. So I played a lot of soccer in the morning and he ran around 1,600 meters. What is that in miles? Where are you from, Cole, that you're saying meters? Happy Easter to you as well. Constantine forgot it was Easter. He's been busy. Ski Mask says, how can I show you proof of me burying my eggs? Well, you can send me a photo on the social media that starts with an I. How's that? I don't know if I can say the word here. I'm, they're very strict what I can say, what I can't say. No, he doesn't have to send tribute for that. He's not trying to serve me. I did ask for a photo. We're not talking about him having a dynamic or anything here. He's just sending me pictures of burying Easter eggs. I think that'll be okay. Reese, stop referring to yourself in the third person. It's weird. You can just say Happy Easter. Abel wrote something and then took it back. Hello, Matt. Rocky says, do you mind if I sub to your channel? Why would I mind? Of course you can subscribe. Everybody in this chat should already be subscribed. And we should have talked about this a long time ago, but you should also be on your knees when you speak to me. On your knees, subscribe. You should have already liked this live stream. Duh. Makaya says, oh, that's so nice of you. I am nice. Believe it or not, I am nice most of the time. Happy Easter to you as well, Matt. Walker wants to know if I have heels on, considering I am in sweaty gym clothes. No, I have my gym sneakers on currently. They need to be cleaned. You know what I was just thinking about earlier today? I wish I had a sub for cleaning my shoes. I do. That would be nice because I have one pair of cute yellow shoes that I wear on my walks in the morning. They get dirty so easily, and I never seem to have time to clean them. So I would like a shoe cleaning tub. Shoe cleaning tub. Shoe cleaning sub. You know what I meant. Ski Mask says, God, you are so pretty. Thank you for that. Ah, okay. Cole says, I was born in Israel, but it's been like 8 years since I moved here. Is that why you still use meters? Or I guess some people use meters when talking about track and stuff like that. I thought about that afterwards. Hello, Rich. Welcome. All right. What else? Let's see. I've been posting more shorts. I do have a sub update coming for you probably tomorrow that I will post as a long video. And then I've got a couple shoe videos. I'll post one this week. And then we've got another inmate video coming up soon. Rich is here to obey and serve, and he is enthusiastic about it. I love that. But actions speak louder than words, don't they? Yes, they do. Walker says try-on hauls are good. What I do isn't really a try-on haul. It's more of a weird video of my feet walking around in shoes, but people seem to love it. I mean, it is weird. I'm not gonna lie, but you enjoy it. It's easy and kind of fun for me to make, so it's a win-win. Reese says, I obey and serve you, mistress. Does that mean that you're on your knees? Write in the chat a K if you are on your knees right now. I need to know. King says bare feet is better. We're going to do another question about that. Walker is on his knees. Rich is on his knees. Wahab did not understand the assignment. Walker, Wahab now understands the assignment. Mazen, Scott, Makaya, all on their knees. I love that. I love that. But I have a whole room of people kneeling down to me right now, or at least saying that they are. Kafam, Kefa, Kafamagor is on his knees. Trappy, the tramp bag. I love that name. Wahab is doubly on his knees. Rich says he listens. I'm glad to hear that. Walker is telling me to step on grapes. I don't have any grapes. And plus, I have texture issues and that makes me want to vomit. So, no. Scott confirms that subs do lie. I'm well aware. I wasn't born yesterday. Okay. Do you all forget how old I am? And also the fact that I worked in clubs. You don't think I've ever met a liar before? I have. I don't believe anything that somebody tells me unless I can prove it. That's why I need to see Ski Mask burying his eggs because I think he's lying. Actually, if he's willing to show me a photo, then he's probably not lying. And now, shut up, Alexa. Nobody's talking to you. My other question for you, if you have a thing for feet, or even if you don't, I guess, let's talk about, because somebody in here, I forget who it was saying that he prefers bare feet. Some people prefer boots. Some people prefer heels. So if you are a heels fan, you will write an H. And if you have a particular type of heels that you like, you can put that on there too. If you are a barefoot person, you can put an F. And if you are into boots, you will put a B. Let's see how many foot people we have in the chat. King Crab immediately puts an F. He was eager. Mazin also put an F. Rich is more of a heels fan. Sports Productions also likes bare feet. Scott is a boot fan. Sports Production, I think I already read you, but you're so excited that you put another F. Trappy the Tramp Bag also likes bare feet. Wahab is a barefoot lover. Scott is a boot lover. F for Kafmogaro. And Makaya is a B for boots and socks. I did not mention socks. You can put an S for socks in the chat if you are a sock fan. Ski Mask doesn't get the whole foot fetish thing, and he's more into G-strings. That's okay. That wasn't the question, but I'll allow the answer. Reese has a boot and shoe fetish. Boots and bare feet, I believe. Morris is more into boots. Makaya loves socks. And William loves sneakers. Kafa is my puppy. Well, you are not, but you want to be. Let's use precise language. Cole was AFK. I don't know what that means. I don't understand your teenager lingo. You spell it out for me. Ski Mask says he doesn't have the eye. Well, that sounds like a personal problem. I will show you the shoe that I currently have on. There's my shoe. Isn't that cute with the little silver Nike thing there? Aren't they nice? I love these shoes. They're so comfy. That is, and I also have these adorable ruffle socks. It's so pretty. My entire outfit, as usual, is sub-funded from my Lululemon bra. These are Buff Bunny shorts, which shrank in the wash a little bit, which is a good thing because I've been losing a little weight. So I am trying to shrink things a little bit because I bought a bunch of stuff that's now too big. Away from. You said AFK me. Oh, away from keyboard. That makes more sense. You say away from computer, but there's a K. I understand. Thank you for educating me on the lingo. Oh, King also says he likes fishnets. Something about fishnets. Yes, fishnets can be very. I'm surprised by the number of people that are more into pantyhose than fishnets, to be honest with you. I think fishnets are sexier than pantyhose, but a lot of people are very into pantyhose. So put a P in the chat if you prefer pantyhose or F if you prefer fishnets. William wants to know if I am all natural. I am indeed. Everything about me. I don't think I have anything fake on me whatsoever. I've never even had Botox or fillers or lip injections, or the only thing I've had done is microblading for my eyebrows, which has faded away because I had it done like 2 years ago. And I colored my hair a few years ago. It needs to be washed right now. You can see where it starts right there, but everything else here is natural. I have a few gray hairs, but surprisingly not many. And I don't know if you knew this. Tell me if you know this. Um, Michaela likes fishnets. Rich is into pantyhose. That's a lot of hair. Tell me if you know this. Um, did you know that if you have hair that goes gray or white, it can change back to your natural color? I never knew that. King likes fishnets, and so does Ski Mask. Kafa says, would you make fun of me, mistress? Not when you haven't done anything for me. Just a reminder, I'm a financial dominatrix. If you haven't even sent tribute, I'm not going to do shit for you. No thanks. Gotti says, hello, I would like to be completely controlled. Well, being completely controlled costs a lot of money. So if you're like PD and you're going to send me an $8 super chat, you're not going to get much or anything, rather. Micaiah says, what? How do you change it back? It popped up on my Reddit feed the other day, and somebody had posted a photo of a hair that grew out of their head, and it went from dark to white and then back dark. And people in the chat were saying, I don't know how true this is, it was on Reddit, but they were saying that in certain situations when people are really stressed out and their hair starts turning gray, if they lose the stressful situation, then the hair goes back to natural. I don't know if it's true, but that's what they said. But a lot of gray hair can also be very genetic. I knew a girl in high school who was 17 who had a lot of gray hair. So, that happens to some people. Everybody's different. I don't think you can consciously change it back. Probably limit the stress in your life. I have no children, so maybe that's why I only have like 5 gray hairs. I imagine children add a lot of gray hair. Can you confirm or deny in the chat if you have children and if you have gray hair? Do you feel like that contributed to the number of gray hairs that you have? King Crab, I know that's not what it says, but that's what it looks like to me, says pigment cells regaining function, but it's rare. Relieving stress can turn it back. Constantine says negative. Does that mean that you believe it's not true? I'm just saying I heard it. I don't know if it's true or not. William claims it's about the food you eat. I think stress has more to do with it. Seems more logical to me. Or maybe Constantine was saying, oh, that's what I thought you said. No negative on the children in the gray hair. Meaning you don't have children, or you don't think having children causes more gray hair. Rich says, I have 1 kid and a lot of white hair. Do you feel like having a child caused you to get gray hair? I kind of feel like Ski Mask and Micaiah kind of have something going on here. I'm just saying. Constantine has no children. And maybe no gray hair then. Rich says, no, he doesn't think so, that his child caused his gray hair. How old am I? I am old enough to be your mother, my friend. If you are 18, I am definitely old enough to be your mother. I'm 43 years old. Constantine confirms exactly. Constantine, you might have responded to this earlier, but I think I was looking somewhere else when I asked the question. Did you get sore from doing the workout? the other day? Did you really do the workout with me? And if so, are you sore? And if you are sore, what is sore? Rich is 55. Ski Mask is 34. Okay, everybody put your age in the chat. I guess that's what we're doing. William says you look great for 44, but thanks, I'm 43. Makaya is 31. It's like a slinky. Everybody else, if you want to confess, you don't have to. Maz is 26. Constantine says I'm Dutch. We're brutally honest. I got someone in the back from doing that reach around thing. That was it. I pushed pretty hard in workouts every day. When you say in the back from doing the reach around thing, maybe you mean something else by that, but maybe my mind's in the gutter, but that sounds kind of gross. Can you explain what you mean by that? Because I just don't have a good picture in my head right now. And I did not know that about Dutch people. But I like that because I think you know by now that that is very much how my personality is. Cole, we already know you're an 18-year-old baby. William is 35. Scott is 59. King is claiming that he's 0 years old. So I don't know how he's able to type in the chat if he's a baby or not even conceived yet. Morris is 60. He might be the eldest in the chat. Constantine says, I'm using my voice type and I have a Dutch accent. Okay, so maybe that's why. Maybe you didn't mean reach around. Maybe you meant something else. King Crab says 44 angel numbers. Does that mean you're 44? Rich is enjoying the chat. Glad to hear that. Katha is 26. Makaya is shocked at my 43 years of age, and she says, do you ever do health commentary like diet workout? I have a whole fitness channel, my friend. I don't post on there as much as I should, but I do. Sometimes I do talk about that kind of stuff. I actually do know a lot about health and staying healthy and being healthy in general. I could tell you what I do for my professional career, but I'm not going to. But I do have a master's in health sciences. Mythological is in the house. Welcome. Ski Mask and Farmer are amused. No, Ski Mask, you didn't get my mind in the gutter. Constantine did with his mention of the reach around. Because I still don't know what he meant. Makaya needs to learn how to keep healthy. Okay, well, go follow my fitness channel then, my friend. It is Fit with Fiore. Find it. Mythological says new nails. Nice one. Thank you. These are light pink. Spring color. Switched it up from the French manicure thing that I had going on. Oh, King Crab says, I'm thinking all types of thoughts right now. You got me thinking. Hey, Constantine's the one talking about a reach around, okay? Have I ever done any modeling? I don't really consider myself to be model material, but I've done many photo shoots. They were pole dancing photo shoots, not for like modeling. I did one like boudoir photo shoot. Constantine says he meant stretching. Okay, so do you mean that you do stretching with your workouts then? Or McKay is gonna go hunt down my fitness channel. Have I ever done a backflip? You know, it's funny you mentioned that because I was watching some videos on backflips the other day, and I was wondering if I could try it, if I could do it. Obviously, I wouldn't wanna do it unless I was on, like, a squishy mat and had somebody spotting me probably, but I have done flips off the pole. I probably have a video on the I platform of doing a flip off the pole, but it's probably at least a 6-year-old video. William claims he was a model for 10 years. Nice. Constantine says, "No, you did a certain stretch that I've never done before reaching." I'm not going to say that word. What, reach around? Mythological says, "Ma'am, do you really enjoy being single? You had never been into a relationship?" Of course I've been in relationships before. William wants to know if I like motorcycles. Yes. Well, I've got mixed feelings about motorcycles. I used to ride a motorcycle. I had 2 motorcycles actually. I wrecked the first one and then I got another one. Um, I was more of a crotch rocket person. I wouldn't be opposed to getting another motorcycle, but I do have a back problem and some other issues which would make it not as comfortable, especially on a crotch rocket. Ski mask. Yes, I can see your chat. And I see a bunch of question marks. I don't know if if you posted something else. Happy Easter to Super Glenn. And William has 2 motorcycles right now. What was I gonna say? To answer your question about relationships, you know, I've had a couple long relationships. I've had a couple men I dated who I maybe considered marriage with, but it just wasn't quite what I wanted. And I know exactly what I like. I don't like to say I'm picky. I don't like using that word because I just know what I like and I just don't really settle. I feel like a lot of people these days are codependent and they feel like they have to have somebody. And a lot of people struggle being alone. I think that's hard for a lot of people. Um, I'm a very independent person and if somebody's going to bring something of sustenance to my life, then I would be open to a relationship, but I've found for the most part dating to be very disappointing the last few years. So I just don't really try anymore, to be honest with you. If I meet somebody, great, but I've had so many and heard so many disappointing stories um, that I'm good. A lot of times when I go on dates, it's been a complete waste of time. So I've even, to be fully honest, I'm not going to lie to you, I have dipped out on a couple dates out the back door once or twice, maybe 3 times. I don't recommend it. It's not a nice thing to do, but, so maybe that's another reason I don't go on dates because I don't wanna have to leave because I'm and like Constantine said, I am also brutally honest. Um, I did a lot of dating when I lived in California. Well, I was in a relationship for, like, 3.5 years, but after we broke it off, I did a lot of dating, and a lot of people I mean, Florida's got its own issues with the men here, but a lot of people in California are very entitled. They come from wealthy families or and it's very common, I feel like in California where people are into like name dropping and bragging about how much money they have and materialistic things, and that's so not my thing. And I find it extremely unattractive. Um, if you have a lot of money, then, show me your house. But talking about it is what's very much a turnoff to me. And I was on a date with this one guy, and he kept telling me about I think he had like a boss that was a billionaire or something, and I think his job was to build like mini uh toy train things or something for the guy. It was very weird. I don't remember. But and he's just bragging about like all the cars that this guy has in his house and blah 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 blah. And I just like I was just so tired of it. And I've been on so many dates with guys who just like would be bragging about that kind of stuff or like talking about how much money they had. And I just got up and I was like, look, I was, I don't remember exactly what I said. This was many years ago, but I basically just called him out and I said, this is really not my thing. I don't really care like how many cars your boss has. This conversation is just really not interesting to me. Wish you the best. I'm gonna leave. And I left. So you don't want to date me. You probably don't want to date me because I say what's on my mind and a lot of people can't handle that. Sir, come here. Come here. It's past his feeding time and he's not happy. Maybe he married the billionaire. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. I'm on a roll says, I have 3 kids. I don't think she's interested. Mo has a double chin, don't you think? You got a little double chin going on here, buddy. Maybe it's all the fur. He is hungry. Yes. King Crab says that's my problem at times too, speaking my mind. The other thing I struggle with is saying things, and that's why honestly, like I kind of just fit right into domination because I struggle with saying things gently to people because I am so direct. I'm not trying to hurt people's feelings, but a lot of times people get very offended by the way that I say things and what I say, I guess. So that's why I like humiliating people and dominating people is actually very easy for me because I struggle with saying things nicely sometimes, especially to women. I owned a dance studio for 5 years, and I did have people that would get upset with me sometimes because I am very direct and I do have a very strong personality, and they would get offended when I would say things sometimes, and that's not my intention. Um, it's a struggle for me. It's definitely a challenge. Mythological says you are quite honest and very kind-hearted person I have met online. Well, thank you for that. Makia says Mo is fluffy. Indeed, he is. I'm on a roll, agrees that communicating is 100% important in a relationship. I concur. Cole says I never date brokies. I probably have once or twice, but no, I don't. Cole says I'm not into married men. No, I do have some submissives who are married, and a lot of dominatrixes do home wrecking. I do not. I honor and respect all women. Even when I worked in clubs, if men came in and told me they were married and they wanted to talk about that, like I said, I'm never going to really ask or push that. If they want to talk about it, I'm more than happy to talk about it. And I'll tell them exactly what I think. I think if you're married, then you're committed to someone and you should be honest with your partner about what you're doing. And if you think what you're doing is wrong, then you should talk to your partner and or see a therapist. That is my opinion. And I will tell people that. I do not promote cheating or being dishonest. What happened to my I shouldn't have been messing with this. I think I just broke it. It's not doesn't it should. Maybe it's okay. Is that as far as it extended before? I thought it extended further. Anyhow, gotta put your foot down. Yes. As a lady, you should show strength anyways. Yes. Happy Easter to Adrian. Is that our son you're holding in your arms? I mean, are you a chihuahua? Then he might be your son. He's my fur baby. Oh, you just messed up your fur. Let's mess it up more. You have a mohawk and a tongue that stick out. You know, one thing about Mo is he loves video calls. Like, you know, I can't see you guys or hear you, but like if we were on a video call right now, he'd be looking at the camera and like wanting to talk to you. Fun fact. Hello, Tom. Happy Easter to you. INN says, "Hi, goddess. Thanks for this real talk." I always keep it real. Makea is liking my Chihuahua joke. Mythological says, "Do I love cats?" I love all animals, to be honest with you. But I do kill bugs. I am a bug killer. You know this. I will not hesitate to kill a bug, and I know a lot of people get very upset about that, but you know, you do you, and I'll do me. I'm gonna kill a bug. I will kill a bug any day. But I told you we do have a pet snake in the backyard. Mo likes to try to chase it and pounce on it. You would kill that snake, wouldn't you? But he's obsessed with snakes. It's not good. You shouldn't be obsessed with snakes, sweetheart. Because if you ever meet a mean one, you know what I saw on the way home from the gym actually? Um, did you guys know that there's armadillos in Florida? Oh God, that breath is foul. Oh, ugh, ugh, it's so bad. If you're in Florida, I know you know that there are armadillos, but if you're not in Florida, did you know that there's armadillos here? Because I see dead ones on the side of the road all the time. I saw one on the road on the way home from the gym. It was dead on the side of the road. There's a bone for doggy breath. Oh, there's nothing you can do. He's had bad breath since he was a puppy. There is nothing you can do about his breath. It is foul. I mean, I've tried, and he's very picky about treats. He won't eat like the dental treats and the mint stuff, all that kind of stuff. He's not interested. No, you're picky. But you love popcorn. I was eating popcorn last night. He was wanting. Oh, you think armadillos are cute? I think they're kind of weird looking. They're strange looking creatures. Do not lick my mouth, or we're gonna have a problem. Maybe I should make him brush daily. I do brush his teeth a couple times a week. It wouldn't make a difference. Dog breath is just stink for the most part. Some dogs don't have that smelly of a breath, but especially little dogs, you know, they don't have good oral hygiene. They don't chew stuff like bigger doggies do usually. He's a very picky puppy. Look at your little tongue. I like to poke it. But no, I do try to brush his teeth a little bit. What a good puppy. All right. Well, like I said, we've got some upcoming videos, and if you ever want to try the workouts, I've got my fitness channel. The workout I did on what day was that? Friday was not easy. I'm still sore from it. And then, you know, I'm a sucker for punishment, I guess, because I worked out my butt at the gym again today, even when my butt was sore. But I think it actually feels a little bit better now. You know, when you have a lot of lactic acid, sometimes moving around improves things. Zoteric. Am I interested in martial arts? I'm not. I've told you my Muay Thai excuse me, story a couple live streams ago. I'm not going to talk about it again. It was a little traumatizing. I'm not doing martial arts. I'm not interested. Zero interest. I have too many other things I do. I am more into pole, aerial, yoga, handstands are my thing. I ain't got time for martial arts. Mythological wants to know what my skincare routine is. Well, you can join me at any weekday around 8 o'clock a.m. when I do my well, that's kind of more makeup. I actually was gonna do a live stream of some of the other stuff I do. Like, I kind of want to do another eyelash lift. That's what I'm trying to say. I might do a live stream when I do my eyelashes, and I also have a PMD. I don't know what it stands for, but it's like a thing that you scrape your face. That's kind of fun and satisfying. And oh, Makia, you do Lyra? Really? I have one in my house, but I don't use it that much. And Micaiah says I'm not strong enough for pole. If you can do Lyra, you can do pole. Lyra takes a lot of strength. Mythological says, ma'am, for boys, can you suggest something, please? Getting a lot of pimples. You know, if you have a lot of acne, I can't help you. I've never had a lot of, I have pimples sometimes, but I've never had like a lot of acne. I feel like that's something you need a prescription for. Yeah, Ski Mask says Accutane. There you go. Oh. Micaiah says, oh wait, I remember when I followed you. You were killing it on the pole. Thank you for that. You're so funny. You're cute. All right, on that note, I've got to feed my dog before he gets really mad at me. He's being pretty patient, I think, actually. Sometimes he just starts barking incessantly when he's hungry, but he's actually being a very good boy right now. Yes, you are. And you know, when you're a good boy, you usually get treats. Maybe you'll get more popcorn tonight. You love popcorn. And he loves mozzarella cheese. He loves any kind of cheese, really. He's wagging his tail right now. He wants cheese. You love the cheese, don't you? Huh? That's not good for you. Oh. Ugh. He got me. Oh, I shouldn't have said the word. I shouldn't have said the word. Okay. But yeah. Oh, and then I'm gonna also. Okay, I'm sorry, Mo. Just hold on 1 second. Shh. I'm going to live stream probably in an hour or hour and a half on the fitness channel. I'm gonna make some pho tonight. I've never made pho. Do you guys know what pho is? PHO, Vietnamese dish. It's very healthy. I've never made it before, but I buy it sometimes and I'm like, this seems like it'd be easy to make. So we're gonna try it. I have some flank steak. So if you want to join me for a live stream for that, that will be going down approximately an hour and a half, 7:30-ish. I'm gonna go shower and do some other things. Micaiah loves pho. Ski Mask says, you make pho and I'll make ramen. There you go. Do you put an egg in your ramen? I think it's kind of gross. I'm not a big ramen person. But I do like the pho. I got the noodles and everything. So we're gonna make that at 7:30. I have fur on my face. And do some other things. Yeah, shower. And I have some videos I want to edit. I filmed a lot of videos yesterday that I want to edit. So I'm gonna work on that for the political channel. I do have a political channel too. I think it's got like 10 subscribers. So I'm rocking it. I also don't really post on there very often, so that's my problem. Oh, I'm on a roll, has never had pho. He's got to get back to his birthday cake. Happy birthday if it's your birthday. And Micaiah will be joining us for that. It'll be on the fitness channel, the Fit with Fiore channel. I think there's a link to the channel under the post section somewhere. So you can find it that way. All right, so we will do that. And then if you're joining me, I will be back live streaming 8 to 8:30 a.m. You okay there, Buck? Did you have a hairball? Was that a hairball? Gross. Anywho, 8 to 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. Day trading tomorrow. So maybe I'll see you for one or both. Jeff is claiming that pho is pronounced fa. Whatever. Pokey, poke, poke, faux, fa, fa. Faux, foo, fa. Whatever. Bye.